Meltzer would say, as far as the poll goes, it's one of the best responses for a pro wrestling show in history. I can't recall one show in company history to get 0 thumbs down. The 1997 Calgary Stampede show, which had 4 matches, 2 of which were 4 stars or better, all of which top 3 stars, had 1 thumbs down and a 99.6 thumbs up. In a sense, that surprises me. Not that 2 legit match of the year candidates on the same night don't make it a show with a thumbs up, because there may have been better shows, including the recent WrestleMania, but it didn't get anywhere near this kind of unanimous votes. It is pretty special to see people that aligned, and maybe a lot of it is Chris wrestling in his hometown,
Yeah.
and he's going to make Shawn Michaels in Canada tap out to the sharpshooter. Earl Hebner's the referee, so these fans have a long memory. They're Canadian fans. They love their Canadian heroes. The idea that Earl is the ref and Shawn taps out, that's a big deal. And then it's a big deal that Randy Orton had all this crazy violence. Meltzer would say Orton, as weird as this sounds, added a toughness to his aura that he needed to become a money player. And he easily had the match of his career against Mick Foley. While regular uses of matches of this type are a negative, because WWE hasn't done a match of this type in years, it was very effective. You and I haven't spent a lot of time talking about this. I know that Eric hates it. I know that Bruce hates it. But when you have a little blood and guts, does that belong on a card? Are you totally against it? Do you like the use of blood? Does the barbed wire or thumbtacks take it too far? Where's the line for good old JR?
Well, it's getting close. That line is getting approached. Barbed wire, flaming tables, baseball bats with barbed wire around them, all that stuff. I have to be in the right kind of mood just to have one and book it and write it down. It's going to be great. It's not necessarily factual, but I thought it seemed fresh again to some degree, and I think that was important and key. But yeah, I enjoyed this whole show. I go back and look at the card. And it brings back great memories, and the talents that had a chance to step up and impress people, they did. You mentioned Trish. Trish had a hell of a hand part and played a hell of a hand in this pay per view. She had a key role, and that was new and different because she's female, and she had a major role as a female in the storyline, both mentally and physically, to this TV persona. She was really good, really good. She's still out there. She's still out there doing appearances and things of that nature. She works hard, which surprises me. Not that she's never worked hard, but I don't know if she needs to work hard. I think she likes being around the fans, and that's always a great trait. Anytime a talent can look at more opportunities to embrace their fan base.
Let's talk about the dark match. It's Val Venus over Matt Hardy in 7 minutes and 56 seconds with the money shot. Hardy's going to get a bloody nose here. We should mention Hardy because he's no longer with AEW. His contract expired. He was offered a new contract by Tony, opted not to sign that contract just yet, and instead popped up this past weekend in Las Vegas at the Impact or TNA pay-per-view Rebellion, sort of picking up where he left off with his broken Matt Hardy character. What'd you think of that twist and that turn of events, and what do you expect is next for Matt Hardy?
Oh, he'll find work. Matt's a reliable guy. He's can work with about anybody. He's got great name identity. It's a good hire for TNA. Good hire. And Matt's never going to, as long as Matt doesn't go off the deep end and become insane all of a sudden, he's going to have work. He's that good. So, and I wish him the very best. You know, I hate to see him not around AEW. I thought he was, he was an important part of, Stadium Stampede and other things. So I'm going to miss Matt. But who's to say he's not going to come back sometime?
That's fair. Let's talk about our first match on the show. Boy, it is a fun one. Shelton Benjamin and Ric Flair. Doesn't seem like they would have ever hooked it up, but they did here, and they went 9 minutes and 29 seconds. Meltzer would say, even with his big TV push in recent weeks, the people are slow in getting into Benjamin as a main guy. Why do you think that is? Like, I know Shelton is now on the outside of WWE looking in, but it felt like he was one of the more natural athletes the company ever had. I mean, he looks like a real life action
He
figure,
was.
universally well liked
Yep.
and well respected, great work.
Yep.
Is it just that he wasn't a strong promo, or is it something else that he was missing?
Well, his promo ability didn't do him any favors. And again, that's a part of the process of connecting to your audience. Sheldon's a very likable guy. He's a good guy. I thought he was, that famous class that we recruited for OVW back in the day that included Cena and Lesnar and Batista and Orton and Shelton. So guess who the best athlete of the whole kit and caboodle was? Shelton Benjamin. It's just that we couldn't get his personality to rise to the same level as his physical skills. But he's credit to anybody's locker room. I don't know what his plans are. If he's a free agent, I'd love to see him get a shot at doing something in AEW. I can see some great matches with Shelton and Brian Danielson and others, many others. Osprey. Shelton just a gifted athlete. He just didn't have the greatest personality for a TV performer as one might prefer. But he's a credit to anybody's locker room. There's no doubt about that. So, and as long as he can maintain that integrity and stay in shape, which he obviously does, he's never going to be unemployed long.
No, I can't imagine. Let's talk about what's next. We got Coach. Yeah, Jonathan Coachman, wrestling Tajiri here. Meltzer would say this is different than what you'd think because Coach didn't play the role of a pussy manager. Instead, he did a lot of wrestling and was positioned as a great athlete. He even used shoot moves like an ankle crank after Tajiri kicked the post and sold for a few minutes. The finish would see Garrison Cade deck Tajiri with the power of the punch, and Coach schoolboyed him half a star. Man, it's not the best use of Tajiri. I get that. But I can't imagine this was Coach's idea. He's doing what's asked of him. He's doing more than a passable job. But what are we doing when we're having Coach wrestle on a pay-per-view, Jim?
I don't know. It's hard to say. Don't have an idea. You got to. I'm sure we gave him a better payday than he would have made just announcing
Sure.
or interviewing. So that was good for him. But I don't know why he was selected to do that role. I don't know where we were going after that. I can't remember where we're headed the next pay-per-view and things down the road. But I don't know. It's a head scratcher.